There you go. Guys, I want to talk to you today about how to prepare for exams and finals and make sure that you succeed in whatever it is that you do. First things first, I know a lot of people actually study a couple of days before their final, and that's actually not a good thing because research has shown that 80% of people that cram in the material for the last couple of days before their final actually get a less greater of a mark than the people that have actually studied for that final 3 to 4 weeks in advance prior to that final. The tactics that I do before preparing for my final to achieve, successful good grades is I want to break it down. So for example, on my final or on my exam that I'm studying for, say there's 10 chapters that the professor is going to cover on that exam, right? You want to break it down. So what I do is I spend 40 to 45 minutes on each chapter. I read it once and then I highlight the important parts of that chapter, like the professor has discussed in class and stuff that I do believe is going to be on the exam, are things that I actually go over. I take notes because research has shown that when you take notes about chapters, certain notes, not the whole book, right? Because that will take you all year long. You don't want that. For chapters, your brain actually remembers them better when you're writing them out rather than actually reading it over or highlighting it. You can highlight it the first time you read the chapter, but closer to the final, when you go back to that chapter, at least those points that you've highlighted, you can just write them down on a piece of paper. And then what you can do is once you've written all the points and all the notes for each chapter, you can just go over your notes rather than reading the whole book. Guys, don't be afraid to ask the professor for questions or anything regarding the final exam, right? Or like, the professor's gonna judge me, I shouldn't be asking questions, I shouldn't ask the professor what's gonna be on the exam or what I should concentrate more, focus more closely on than other aspects of the chapter. No, actually professors like when you engage in conversation because they know that you're actually studying and focusing on the chapters, and they are interested in the fact that you're interested in reading that chapter that they're discussing in class and points that that you should focus more on, because professors want to give you good marks. It's not that they want to fail you, or it's not that they want to give you C's and B's, they want to give you the A. So when you ask questions in class, right, you get the vibe off I've had professors where professors are so horrible that I can't even understand them and they don't want to stay after class. If I have questions, they just say email me and it takes them weeks to reply back to me, and it's like, okay, this question I asked you 2 weeks ago is irrelevant to me now because I've actually read the whole chapter. The site is Rate My Professor. You can use that site to actually see how professors are doing and other students who have taken that professor in the past, and they can give you advice on how this professor works, how this professor teaches their lectures, and if they're good or bad and whatnot, right? Yes, majority of professors are good, but you be the smarter person and ask questions. Guys, ask questions. Don't be nervous. Don't hesitate not to ask a question, because this question can give you that extra mark, that extra A if you're going from a B+ to an A-, right? This question can save you. Guys, whatever you do, do not stress, do not have a high anxiety level from your exams. Just focus on the important aspects or whatever the professor covers in class. Chances are those questions are going to be on the final or the quiz or the midterm, whatever it is that you're having. You don't want to come into an exam where you're not prepared, because your anxiety is going to go up, and when your anxiety goes up, your confidence goes down. When your confidence goes down, you do terrible. In order to study for exam, you want to make sure your iPhone is turned off or even muted, because I get so distracted with social media, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, because I'm like, my phone just lighted up. Oh, maybe it's important. I go to it and then I get stuck on Facebook, right? I get stuck on social media. Oh, what's this person up to? Oh, look at her Instagram photos. Oh, look at his Snapchats. Oh, look, he's partying like all the way downtown Vancouver. We all know ain't nobody gonna message me anyway. No. Just put everything on mute, because life can wait, but your exam mark cannot. Guys, when you are studying, you want to take breaks. Take around 3 to 7 minute breaks, or once every 45 minutes to around 60 minutes, because you don't want to keep studying and then not take a break and then your mind goes off focus. You want to take breaks 3 to 7 minutes. You don't want to take breaks over 7 minutes, because then you also lose focus on the material that you're studying. Time your breaks, time your study sessions, but make sure that you balance it both out, because you don't want to do too much of studying and you don't want too much of breaks, because you won't go back to the other. You'll be fine. A lot of people don't take breaks, they just keep continuing studying because they want to go home. Everything that works for them, that's fine. A lot of people take breaks for half an hour and then study for like 20 minutes and take breaks for half an hour. But I find those people, because I was one of those people, I find those people lose focus. They're studying longer and breaks less so that you can study longer again and continue, you know, vice versa, vice versa. You don't want to have too much of something, but do take breaks because your brain does need to breathe and space everything out. If your professor posts his slides on their Moodle, that's how KPU works, Moodle? KPU Moodle? Yeah. KPU, Koala Moodle, professors post slides, right? Look at those slides because chances are those slides are actually might be more important. I've had professors in the past where their slides are what the exams are based off of and nothing in the book, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours that I wasted in total reading the book is irrelevant because it has nothing to do with the class material. Ask the professor, should I concentrate more on the slides, you know, the 60, 70 slides that you have per presentation, or should I concentrate more on the book, right? Don't hesitate not to ask questions. Do ask questions. Take longer breaks because you will procrastinate, right? You will procrastinate and then you won't focus back on your studies. I find that coffee actually does help me focus better because caffeine, it just kicks into the adrenaline and you know, it helps me focus on whatever it is that I'm learning and whatever it is that I'm trying to study. Find what works for you, right? I mean, I even know some people that, this is completely weird, but I actually know some people that smoke weed and they feel like they concentrate more when they are high, whereas opposed to, you know, concentrating normally when they're normal. So they smoke weed. Personally, I haven't tried weed, so I don't really know. But you know, there's a lot of things that work for people, and there's a lot of things that don't. Like caffeine isn't good for some people because, you know, they might be lactose sensitive. It won't be a good outcome for them. So I guess as you're growing up, you can experiment on what it is that makes you focus better, as opposed to what it is that makes you less focused. If that makes sense. Okay, when I'm reading notes and when I'm reading chapters and presentation slides and PowerPoint slides, what I actually do is I make acronyms. For one of my computer classes, I gotta know 7 steps for the IP addresses, right? And I made a little acronym. Actually, my professor made this acronym, so it makes me actually focus more. So it's kind of like all people seem to need data processing, right? And each letter actually stands for something else. And it helps me remember in that order what each letter stands, because even if I don't know the word, as long as I know the order and I can write that acronym that my professor taught me, I might be able to get some marks, whereas opposed to having no marks. The thing would be like IP addresses. Acronyms I use is like, okay, so I basically have done this acronym is half to half and half, right? Things that make it work. So acronym A is class A is 127, class B is half of 127, which will almost half of it. 127 it'd be 63, right? So then class C would be half of 63, which would be 31. 31 actually, it'd be 15. So then it'd be 15, and then class F would be 15. So 127, 63, 31, 15, 15. Actually guys, 5 classes, right? So 5 classes that I remember as an acronym for the IP addresses. Class A is 127, class B is half of it, 63, class C is half of it, 31, class D is 15, and then class E is 15. Whereas if you can make an acronym out of it, chances are you'll remember it quicker. So acronyms do actually help. It helps me, and it helps a lot of people. So try acronyms out as when you're studying for finals. If possible, for the classes that you are taking and the final that you're going to face, ask to study old exams, because some of the questions may be based off old exams, and as long as you can get a feel for how this teacher actually teaches and prepares her exams or his exams, you'll do better because you know what's expected. So ask the professor if you can get old exams, or I mean, it's just an option. Always ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. Things that you want to avoid when studying is talking to friends and people that you associate with on an everyday basis. Because the thing is that this will demotivate you into studying for your finals or your chapters. This will demotivate you into having success on achieving a good mark for your final. You don't want to talk to friends if you know you're easily, if you lose focus. You only want to talk to friends during breaks, and you want to keep it to a minimum. Only talk to your friends about the material that you're learning, not outside of the book, because when you talk about outside of the book, then you get lost, and it's very hard to focus back in the book. These sessions are only good if they work for you. Majority of people, it doesn't work for them. They work with people that you know you can focus on the material and not easily demotivate yourself and lose focus on the material. Study sessions aren't for everyone, but you never know until you try it out. Try study sessions out, even all-nighters. You don't know if it's good for you or not unless you try it out. A lot of people, all-nighters don't work for them, and they don't work for me either. They're not something I would count on, because chances are when you try to cram material, lose focus on them. It's nighttime and you would be sleeping usually. You just can't focus properly on the material you're trying to learn. An interesting fact, guys, 81% of people actually do better on their exam when they use flashcards. Flashcards do work, it's just that it's very time consuming, but when you write the question and the answer behind it, you study better. Interesting fact. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Get off of social media, go and study for your exams, and I'm sure you will do just as great as you think you can do. Because when you study and you put your efforts into this, good things will happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day. Remember, stay lightened.